picking a course. When I was going to do my junior work, they asked me what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a newscaster. And my dad said, my little girl is more intelligent than just reading news. I can't forget that thing. He said, you are, are a complete brain. You cannot just sit in front of the camera and be reading a paper, something that somebody just give to you to read out. Then we talked about it, and my mom said something.
I'll send your invite. So send your invites and come up.
Okay, so my mom said something. Let's start with putting you in a science class. When you go to science class, by the time you sciences in SS3, know what you want to do. You can even go into art, you can do anything. From science class, you can diversify into another field. And then I agreed. But there was one thing my parents did. They didn't stop at that. They encouraged me all the way. They read with me. We solve things together. We do everything together. My mom, my dad, we absolutely do everything together. They encouraged me like to love that class that they wanted me to be. So when I came out of secondary school, I was going into the university, and again, my dad said, I want you to do physics with electronics. And I'm like, no, I want to go into the medical field. My dad insisted that I go for physics with electronics. At that point, I had lost my mom. So it was me and my dad that had to have that discussion. At first, I didn't like it. But as always, it was there. It was supportive. It makes it look so effortless. Even when I'm putting in so I get tired, I'm like, Dad, I don't like this and all that. He would encourage me, he would support me. He didn't let me have a reason not to like it though. And then I pushed through it, and my passion picked up when I started realizing that there's a medical aspect to physics that I could do. And that actually made me feel like, oh, okay, this is getting interesting and all that. And then in my class, of course, we were very few female and all that. So it was not really interesting. It wasn't an interesting class because it's just men and you are just constantly facing the board and all that. So there was no friend. The course was intense. But when we started experimenting and I see what I'm able to use my hands to make and all that, I started getting more interested, developing more interest in the course. Eventually, I wrote my final exam and I had a 2-1. And no, before then, my cousin came and was like, they wanted to, we were all talking in the living room and they were like, what are you studying? And I said, we were asking each other. And I said, physics with electronics. And he looked at me and said, physics with electronics, are you that intelligent? You understand? And that thing alone also gingered me more. Like, do people think I'm not intelligent? How can somebody even say this about me and all that? And it made me put in more effort and all that. And then eventually we had a career week where I found out that we could do things that had to do with there's a medical aspect to physics and all that. And I made up my mind that I was going to do my project in that field. So during my last project, I wrote my project in medical physics. The topic of my project, I wrote it in 2008, and I still remember it because I did every practical myself. It's called Determination of Concentration of Radionuclides in Staple Foods. That means you will be checking carcinogenic properties of alpha ray, gamma ray, beta ray, and other radioactive properties in food that we eat in rocky areas. And that would make you know the best form to eat food. If you are eating cassava, is it going to be, if you eat it in the raw form, are you taking more of the beta ray or the gamma ray or alpha particles? Are you picking that up? When you cook it, does it reduce it? When you fry the gari, what does it do? And all those things. You see that practical thing? It got me from here to the top. Like my supervisor used it for his PhD. My uncle was in the US. He was the assistant CMD, chief medical director, at Connecticut medical School of Medical Sciences. So he was giving me materials back to back. Professor Green, he was giving me materials back to back, and my supervisor was like, "Oh yes, this is I'm using for my PhD." And we were working hand in hand. It was as if I was the only had, and I'm sure it's because he had interest in using that project also for his PhD. So at the end of the day, my project got the best project in the department, and I came out with a 2-1. And I won't lie to you, as much as I didn't like it from the beginning, but I got encouragement from my parents. I was supported, I was encouraged, I was motivated by people around me, not just my parents, my lecturers, my friends. They were all there for me. Believe me sincerely. Even the people that threw shades at me, they were there for me because that actually made me a stronger person. That made me I'm that kind of person that when you put me down, I don't look at what you have done. I will look at what has caused it. And I will make sure that I treat the root cause of it. If you insult me, I will look at it. Why did you insult me? Is it because we laugh, we talk? Okay. All right, so we won't talk again. That will treat that same thing. I would give myself that respect so that we don't have to argue again. You understand? So when it came to, and then of course my mom was no more, and then our friend died of cancer. And then I found out that my my course, if I had graduated or if I had gone in for my master's, would have helped her because I would probably be working in a radiation center that I would be able to help her to cure cancer. Another thing I realized is that in Nigeria, the cancer centers that we have, their machines only have on and off. So the person that has 50 millimeter diameter of tumor is still being fed the same radiation um, quantity or dosage as somebody that has 2 millimeter. They just put it on and it's the same time. That's why most people that have cancer in Nigeria, once they are cured in Nigeria, few years after they die because the cells there go from repair to misrepair and then damaged because they've taken too much dose of it. It got me completely more interested in that profession because I was like, no, I'm going to do things that could stop it. You know, the more I try to go into that course, the more I become curious. And believe me sincerely, each time I look back, I'm grateful that my parents actually pushed me into this. I am saying that I am one of the very few people who benefited from that. A lot of people will not go through that and have a good experience. I've had friends who have gone through it and I've come back to say, oh, okay, I've studied what you want me to study, that then I'm going to chase my passion now. Or mom, I've studied what you wanted me to do. This is the certificate. I'm now going to chase my passion. I would say I am one of the very few people who benefited from it, and I am forever grateful to everyone around me, every single person around me, because they actually supported me to find that balance, that equilibrium that shifted my mindset from whatever I was doing or I was thinking to what I do now. Thank you so much.
So, so I have a question for Professor Wendy. Yeah. So my question goes this way. Um, so I need you to now give us your own insight into this particular topic because I actually want to know where do you stand. I find, according to what you have said, you have benefited for your dad, your lecturers, and all this stuff. I want to know. So, topic on its own. What would you as a mother would do? Would you allow your children to pick their career apart? I normal for you to get, but I just want to know where you do you allow them to do the career, or you want to do the career for them to take that part?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hmm. Believe me sincerely, I tried that method. Um, when we were in Nigeria, I was always telling my kids, at least the elder one already was doing something I wanted or I loved him to do. But the younger one, was always saying, or I would always say, I want you to be a doctor. I want you to be a doctor and all that. I think I've shared this before. I want you to be a doctor. And we say, yes, mommy, I want to be a doctor. And I will take care of you. I will do this. I'll tell him, if you become a doctor, you'll be able to take care of me. And who will take care of me if you are not and all that? Then when we got to the UK, the boy went to school a few times. Primary school. Oh. I think they don't start to dey tell the guy say they can't do anything for you. Say your mind. This and that. One day, the guy came home. Mommy, I want to tell you something. I said, what is this? You see that time we were in Nigeria? I wanted to make you happy. Oh. I know that if I tell you, you beat me. You will scream at me. You will not even let me finish before you start shouting. That's why I said I love to be a doctor. I don't want to be a doctor. This is what I want to become. It broke my heart because it was like that was what I wanted him to be. But I asked myself, what if he doesn't have interest in what I want him to be? What if I force him and he's not as lucky as I am? And then I decided that I'm not going to stop him from being what he wants to be. I started supporting him to be what he wants to be. And we are doing quite well with it. I go with him everywhere. I'm his greatest cheerleader. And I find out that, unlike before, that I would be forcing him to go and read. Effortlessly, he does it without me even when I receive things from Sacho One, that from the app that guides that gives you information about your child's development and progress in school and what they are doing, behavior, task, and everything. Yeah. If they are getting a demerit, they are getting merit. The one in England, probably my child at school or something. So when I started getting those things, I'll be like, I didn't even know you had an assignment. And he will say, oh, mom, I've done it. And the app will tell me, oh, so and so person has handed in their assignment that is supposed to be due on Friday. You will finish it the same day and all that. So will I force a child into a career? The answer is no. Is no. You work for me, it may not work for someone else. So, like we always say, do what works for you. It completely worked for me. But it doesn't, don't also forget that it has to do with personality. My personality is different from my child's personality. So my likes and dislikes are different from his own. So I am not going to advise any human being to force anybody. You could encourage, you can support, but at the end of the day, the final decision still rests on the child to decide what they want for their future. I'm a believer of free will. I've worked in the UK. You would have learned what is called the importance of consent. In fact, before you talk to somebody, get into somebody's house, to seek their consent to do anything, or you get into their room, you seek their consent before sitting down safe. So I'm a believer of seeking consent. So I will always seek my child's or my children's consent before doing anything, and I will never encourage anybody to force anyone into anything, not even your own child self, even your spouse. You cannot force them to go for nursing. That even happens to people around here. So many people, because they brought you from Nigeria, you get here, they say, nurses are getting a lot of ship, nurses are making money, so therefore you do nursing. All of us, we cannot become nurses. There are so many professions that are well paid than nurses, but we are so looking at it. Oh, nursing, and that's it. So definitely, I will not force anybody, not my child, not my partner, not my friend, not anybody, not even Baptista, into doing anything unless they want to do it. And I would always seek consent before I head with anything. I hope this I hope this answers your questions.
Yeah, I said yes. I said yes in the comment section. I said yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Auntie Baptista. Congratulations on your 10,000 mark, though, first off. Yeah, that's a good job. You're a golden child. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Well, I was just say I don't have so much to say. Auntie Wendy, Professor Wendy, and Dr. Wendy has actually said everything. As she has actually nailed it, like really, really nailed it. That I don't think I would have anything to add to that. That I don't think. But however, like just not to just a few thoughts from my own perspective. She just said everything that I was thinking about that and about that topic, and with practical, and she also sharing her practical experience speaks a lot of volume. But just to add one or two things to it, um, in my own opinion, I'll say that should parents choose a career for their children, my honest and direct answer to that will be no, not directly. Like, don't, not, that's my answer is no. And I'll give reason why. Not directly, we shouldn't. We should not directly choose career for our children. There are many sides to it. Many sides to it. So, however, parents have, you know, we as parents, we have crucial and irreplaceable role to play. Parenting is very, very crucial, and it's an irreplaceable role, whether from both parties, like mom, father, mother, even their grandparents, to those who are raised by their grandparents. They have, I mean, an irreplaceable role. And this role is, I'll say that shifting from being decision maker to a supportive guide, which is why I say that it's a no for me, in my own honest opinion. So, and again, I said that parents, it's an irreplaceable role. So it's we're shifting from being a decision maker to a supportive guide, which is why I'm tying it down. That's why I said Madam Wendy has actually concluded the whole topic. She didn't leave space for us to say anything. You know, why you could have just give us more so that we can talk about too. She completed it. So now I'm becoming a stammerer to think of
Sorry,
what I
sir.
will say. Eh?
I'm sorry, sir.
I'm stammering. No, no, nothing to sorry about.
I'm
You have
sorry,
Now
just
sir.
so she they
completed it.
do.
No,
Now so she they do. She
I'm
they put
sorry, sir.
everything
It
together.
no,
was it was
no,
Mr. Shenku that said I should talk, and I was talking. Sorry, sir.
no, I'm stammering. I don't know what to say again. You know,
Don't
but
worry.
like honestly,
You have a lot.
but honestly, this topic is broad and it's so deep. So we can't we are moving from being a decision maker to a supportive guide. I'll give my reason why. Uh, as parent, uh, we can empower our children to choose their career. That 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 is that career that is both personally fulfilling. Please hear me well. That career that is personally fulfilling and practically sound. So, meaning that I want to see my kid, right? That's the joy of every parent. That in their adult, they are as they are adults, as they grow up, become adults, like as they grow up, become that they are independent, they are happy. Like many of us, like you know, myself inclusive, uh, we grew up from we will see someone do something, say, oh, when I was kid, I dreamt to be like that. I dreamt to be like that. Am I happy with what I'm currently doing? So, as parent, I don't want it to be that in the future my kid were like, oh, I'm not happy with what I'm doing. I want them to be happy. The world is changing. Things they have fulfillment in what they're doing, and practically they are sound. Like they enjoy it without missing any word. Like while they are asleep, while they are awake, they can, you know. So because this day, this approach of supportive role, it respects the child's autonomy while they are while they are while they while they are either while they are playing, observing, or uh, leveraging the our wisdom as parents, while they are observing us as parents, while they are leveraging our wisdom as parents. Like, oh, I think I can relate with what daddy is saying. Yeah, So it's not that I'm making a choice for them, but I'm supporting to let them see that, oh, there is wisdom in what I'm saying. And which ultimately leads to a more a more motivated and successful, and as well as happier adult, so that they won't be jumping from one career to other, all of that. So because back in the day, like as a believer, I can relate this back to what happened in the Bible and all of those things. But back in the day, uh, most most of us as parents, uh, most parents back in the day, or not, or most parents now try to fulfill what they miss in the children, which will lead to the child living in regrets, like not happy with what they're doing. I said that because um, that question touches on multiple dimensions as it relates to development, it also to child psychology, and also cultural tradition. We can't separate both. And now let's now look into our modern day career realities. Auntie Wendy ended with, like some people will say they hear one career now, nurse, nurse, nurse. They say, money did that nurse, so let me go rush to nurse. So, a lot of hundreds of people will switch to nursing. Is it about what's driving me? Is it about the money? Am I going to be fulfilled in doing it? Do I want to force to do that? No, that is modern day career realities. So, as well as family dynamics, family dynamics, like what works for me might not work for you. How I nurture my kids, the role I play in their life might not be the template I use might not work for you. So I want to suggest or my honest opinion that I should avoid, or we as parents should avoid oversimplifying, like saying that want to be one-sided. Oh, yes, like I must choose you. I will believe that if beginning to if you are one-sided choosing career for your kid, I want to believe that you are trying to fulfill your own career, that you nurture the regrets of you not doing that in your kids. You want to nurture it in them. So you are replicating your own regrets in your kids, and may God not help us to do that. We as parents, we are guardians. So I can see why I should be as guardian, though, yes, as guardian. So I can see why I should impose or choose, or I mean, I should just support it as they are growing up. You know, as they're growing up, we should just be there for them and just play that role. So directly I would not, because again, I said it affects so many sides of it. Child development, uh, like their psychology, and then it tells later on in the future. It tells later on in the future. Like there are times I will say to myself, wait, oh, to me as myself, not that I'm regretting it, but I was like, but wait, what if in the days of MQ or Akintola and them, where is my dad now? Like those people were there, so why is he, like, what is he doing? Like I would say, you two should have jumped into politics and all of those things, right? So like I said that because we were looking at their own time, but to me it does not apply. Am I happy with what I'm doing? Of course, I'm totally happy. They have created an avenue for us to learn, to observe. And my dad did one thing. One good thing that I learned from is education. Education. He gave us the best education, which every parent should. Education. But when it gets to choosing like this and that, like even like I don't have a say. I'm just there to nurture. The moment I learned that the moment your kids become teenager, you can't parent them the way you are parenting them when they were like on the 10 or even on the 5. So it's like now I'm either your coach, I'm either your mentor, I'm either your a coach, a mentor, a role model. Those three, those three offices we have to occupy as parents. So the way I parent them will actually be different. So whatever they choose, I should just be there to guide them. But that's why they will not be leveraging on my own wisdom. Dad, when you were this, I remember my kid were asking me, when I was this, what did I do? Then I said, when I was like you, I wasn't like you when there is TikTok and all of those. When I was like you, this is what I did, right? So they're leveraging on my wisdom, right? So because things have changed, the tradition again, our traditional view, most African parents, we're always like, uh, and like one of my brother-in-law will say that he likes to play football, and then and his dad will always like, no, no, the moment he's out, he's in trouble. But now he went to UK. Now he's in Canada. So he was in UK, and like when he heard the money, the likes of the money that those guys are making, like it's terrible. Like I mean, it was like, oh, I wish like if they have allowed me to play, I would also be in one of those clubs, be earning. And I said to myself, I say, bro, forget that. Too. Back in the day, even if your parent had allowed you to play soccer, would you end up being like that? No, but he's regretting that they didn't allow him to. His dad was like, just go and read, just go and read, just go and read, right? So what I'm saying is we have the traditional view because they always feel like anybody that is on in the playing soccer or they are footballer, they don't amount to anything. And now those guys are making crazy money. They are enjoying their career. The same way musicians, they say, if I see you carry, say you want to go and sing back in the day. Now, see those boys they are earning the Burna Boy and them. Burna Boy came to Canada and come and perform just 1 hour. They play just 1 hour show is earning $1 million. So just imagine $1 million, and he went to 3 provinces. And it no sorry, did I say $1 million? Yeah, 3 provinces. Just a 30 minutes, 1 hour show, $1 million. And he went to 3 provinces, and each of those provinces have to pay 1 million. Talk less of not just in Canada, he was coming from states, he went to Asia and all of those. So can you just imagine $1 million to 30 minute shoot? I mean, I'm talking here now for over 20 minutes. But when you don't carry the whole topic, talk. How much you don't collect? One person just say 30 minutes for every 1 million. You see, but you see, things have shifted, things have changed. And see, those boys now, these are the things that our kids are looking at. Like, person $1 million. That's, convert that 1 million, $4 million to Nigeria. That's billion. You don't become billionaire now. Why would that be? Bringing in brand new car and Lexus and all of those big things, right? So those are the motivating factor for most of our kids today. So they want to say education is not education. I mean, why would I go and read when I'll just make money like that? So, but what's driving them? That is when we as godly parents, uh, we as godly parents, we are our kids are well established with education. Education is paramount. Now, see, one thing I've learned, I'm going to end here though. One thing I've learned, and that is biblical, is uh, generational. We should raise the kid up to our, even the Bible says it, up to our fourth generation. That's what Abraham had. That's what from Abraham to Moses, to them, to Isaac, to Jacob, up to fourth generation. You can see wealth. When we talk about wealth, they were established. They were up to fourth generation. So what? So now this is where children need to leverage on our wisdom. My purpose for this should be, I should, to my fourth generation, they should be established, like they should like be, I mean, like they shouldn't think twice before they should eat. They shouldn't think twice before, but from the fourth generation of my own parents, what were their mistakes? So I should learn from that mistake and replicate and correct it. I'll not say, oh, my parent did this mistake. Like I shouldn't make that mistake too. Now I should build up and learn to grow and train up my kids and not decide for them and they should leverage of what I've learned to grow. That's what every parent in my age at this time should be doing. Like, no, I don't want to make mistake of my parents. I want to hand that error. I want to stop that error. I don't want to transfer that error to my kids, so that from my age, from this generation to the fourth generation, they should be wealthy mental wealthiness. I mean, physical wealthiness. I mean, in all resources wealthiness, like down to their fourth generation. Now that's when we should educate ourselves. Uh, Take courses, short courses about, yeah, and it surrounds all of those little things that will help us to make our children to learn. I love what Auntie Wendy, she actually touched on it excessively. Like the kids that come to tap on our wealth of knowledge to help them grow, so that by the time we are no more, we are gone to be with the Lord, they will be seeing that, oh, there is a generational thing. And I'll take a clue from what I said again. Abraham left like generational wealth to all of them, Moses, Isaac, and up to their fourth generation. Why? I learned a culture, folks here. Two of them in Nigeria, like if we look at the Dan Tata. Dan Tata, is an up to Aiko Dangote. Tata, like I could, it's an uncle, and then it's a generation. Those pyramid that we used to see in NTA, then, like, right, the likeness, the NTA Granite Pyramid in Kano. Dan Tata didn't go to school, but he's a trader. He learned trade. That Dan Tata is a billion. I mean, like, his riches we can't even talk it. So Dangote is a generation of the Dan Tata. Watched all of that and now see what Dangote is today. So he has grown up to the extent. The Dangote when he started, was he educated? But now Dangote is well educated. So you can see how that is what if every parent should aspire to. I might not be like Dangote, like the $10. I might not be like all of these adenugas, but in my own small cubicle, there is what I can do to not decide for my child, but to build up the end result, though, to not directly decide for them, but to indirectly influence them to carry on to carry on freedom of financial, uh, a wealthy knowledge of financial freedom, stability. Stability. They are not struggle. They are happy. They are happy wherever they are. They are enjoying life wherever they are. Whenever they want to take decision, they only need to like that. I'm thinking about this. What do you think? I'll just look at it. They used to say when a child cuts a tree, an elderly where that tree will fall will fall on, right? So that's what the role of a parent right now in this age. Like, tell me whenever they, oh, that I'm thinking about this. What do you think? What do you think? I'll just say, okay, well, give me some time. Let me, son, I've thought about it. You know what? Let's wait a couple of days. Okay, I'm convinced. Go ahead. What the role of be up to the fourth generation. That is what I desire as a person. That is what every man should desire as a person. And that is what every woman should desire as individual for their children. So that when they are there, they are happy, and women not but wherever they are that their name not on the news, which is why most of these white folks. Again, I'll round up with this though. I have a couple of friends here in this city. These white folks, they don't. They the moment they go to high school, they have businesses like they do. They grew up, and it's generation. They took over or they bought it, and that they grow it up. So most of their kids, what this is what they do. They bring their kids into not that they are deciding to create an environment for the kids to learn after high school. They go to college, they do college, right? A few of them, not all of them, they're going to do college. So it will be in that environment, see the child learning how to do bookkeeping, learning how to do administrative tasks, learning office kind of concept, learning this. So by the time the child grew up, say, Dad, I think I'm figuring out that this is where I'm leaning to. The support could definitely come from inside. Now they have created an avenue for the child to explore. I've worked my current person where I work with joined the company at the age of 13. She's 52. She's 52 in that company as I speak. She has touched every department in that. She knows the in and out from the A to Z and everybody that came and oh, no, no. She started from age 13. So now she's a director there. And then she's like, and when I got there, I was like, Samson, this, and that's the only place where she has worked. And why, meanwhile, wow, I have worked in so multi different companies. So I have a huge experience working with different companies. That's the advantage I have over her. Why she works in just one company from age 13, right? So what I'm saying here is this, that uh, our culture also has a great influence. As African, uh, few Africans have broken. God has helped them. They've had a breakthrough. Most more Africans were like they are so still like strong-willed parents. Like this is what I want. And that's why you see some kids that their dad is medical doctor, their mom medical doctor. All of a sudden, the son that to just decide to be a medical doctor. What stopped them from opening family hospital? Like one of he is a doctor, the wife is a doctor. 2 days ago, I visited him to do a regular checkup, and I just saw his son David. I mentioned the last name, and my wife and I wanted, and I said, "Sorry, Janida, is that not your son?" So yeah, that's my son. How long has he been practicing? Oh, he just graduated, and he's now part of the family. He's also a doctor. And I said, and I told him because he's a man of God. And I said, you must be a very proud parent. So what I learned from that is they just created an environment for the kids that they learn by observing and influencing them to choose and direct, and they now decide to, like, coach them and guide them through. And I bet the fourth generation of such parents will be so gloomy, will be so abundantly blessed, and your kids in the fourth great crunches then will be like, grandpa must have done a very good. I want to be a grandpa that have done a very good work. And my great crunches and that they are enjoying the benefit. It should be a desire in this generation. I'll rest my thank you.
I don't have a question for him. I just want to buttress something that he said about this. I don't want to use the color. The people we come to their country to meet. I know because I don't want it to sound racist. So um I realized that in this country that I am, I don't know any other one, but where I am, there's this thing of generational um passing on of generational career to children. You have the farms here in Scotland. You have people who are like my son's friends. They have their great grandfathers have farms that they visit the farms when they're on holidays and all that. As little as are now, they're already teaching them how the farm runs, how the whole thing runs. You know what the one of the boys told my son? He said, while you people are reading the book, we understand that you everybody must eat. That is the mind they have given. Say, yes. He said, while you people are chewing on your book, we have a mindset that you must eat. And as long as you guys are eating, we are in business. In fact, it's so much so that the government places 30% tax on inheritance. Those those things are already established. They are running. Those children already learned it. These children I'm talking about, they are 12 years, 13, 11, and they will go and milk a cow. They know how to milk a cow. They know how to ride a horse. They know how to do everything while they teach their children life skills. We are even somewhere just even trying to understand the use of English. That is one thing that I'm not saying that anybody should force their children into this, but I'm just saying that is what I have observed. That is what I have observed here. You have a whole lot of them. Look at Coca Cola. It was passed down from generation to generation. Look at Guinness. It was passed down. In fact, you talk about Dangote. Did you hear about Dangote not even having money to start his business and was borrowed money from his uncle, which it was Dan Tata? When I was in Nigeria, I used to have an event company and we invite Dan Tata and Seo to the event. Dan Tata's sons come with him to those events. They are meeting the top people, and he is like, when he's meeting them, he's setting up meetings for the children. It will be when he seals a deal, when he seals a connection, it'd be like, my son will get in touch with you, this one, and hand that person over to the son and say he will be in contact with you to discuss your project. And then there's another one that will say, oh, okay, this person, you can contact this person, it will help you out with your quotation. You understand? They are already, even while they are going to school, they are on the side learning those things. And at the end of the day, you will find out that while we are having master's degree, they may not have more than secondary school qualification, but they already gathered the life skills need to move from A to B. Having said that, every one of them actually make the most of the businesses or or the advantages or the opportunities available to them. I am not saying for sure that everything is always 100% perfect. I am just saying that is what I have observed here. Even the butchery, where they sell, the butcher that sells meat, you will see their children there during half time, during term time, when they are off school. They are in that shop selling. You will see our brothers and sisters, the Asians. You will see their children in the African shops selling things. Should I bust your bubble? The owner of Taste of Nigeria in Grace, Essex, is a Pakistan, and he named it Taste of Nigeria, and will employ Nigerians to come and cook for him. His children are there monitoring and everything. So at the end of the day, they are transferring that thing. When you are cooking, they are standing beside you. They are learning the number of Maggi you are putting in it. They are learning the how many cups of rice you are putting in your Nigeria jollof. They are learning why the jollof smells smoky, why the other ones they cook does not smell that way. So you can never overemphasize the the power of mentorship, because some children have this special gift that they learn more by what they are taught physically than when they go into the classes. But these our people here, they already understand that their business was passed down by their great forefathers, and they have put their children in that line even before they even start to say, oh, this is the career I want to create for myself and all that. They are not even imposing it. It's not a question, it's not something that they even that's because that is discussed. When once you get into into the family, you know that is what they call it. It's basically like a calling in that family. And even the government is making so much money from them. They even place a 40% on inheritance, how much money they accumulate. They have not stopped them in farms. You find them in farms, uh, butcheries, the meat centers. You find them in stores like that. Basically focusing on things that you must eat. You must eat. You must eat. So they are in that business. And that's it. Thank you.